Garret opened his eyes as if he hadn't in a very long time. He weakly attempted to move his arms. He was in a hospital. Why was he in the hospital? He was on his way back from a long double shift, and it was late into the night, 1 or 2 a.m. The pieces of his memory began to reconstruct itself, slowly falling into place like tumblers in a lock. He recalled a car flipping over his car. It was moving so fast that it looked like it was flying. The car shattered like an egg, showering the fairway with metal. After it cracked apart, he rushed to see a pilot dragging his broken body out of the wreckage. The man was destroyed, so broken it looked like his flight suit was the only thing keeping his bones together. Garret attempted to drag him away from the fire, fearing that the car might explode. He took the broken man in his arms and removed his smoking helmet. He closed his eyes in that moment as if the pain of the memory returned to him, becoming real, as if he were living it again. When the helmet came off, there were 2 demonic eyes glaring back at him, and teeth that snapped at him like a snake. He remembered falling, and then this very moment now. He attempted to stand and heard artificial mechanical beeps. He was woozy and disoriented but strong, so maybe he hadn't lost any gains. A female nurse entered the room with slight excitement. "You're awake! Welcome back!" she said. "How long has it been?" asked Garret. "Only a week. You're lucky to be alive at all with all the blood you lost in the attack," she spoke. "I'm lucky?" "I know it doesn't feel that way, but it's better than the alternative." "Where's my phone? Could you bring that to me? I need to get a hold of my girl," said Garret. "Oh, I'm sorry, but your phone most likely doesn't have a charge, but right when I leave the room, I'll call your emergency contacts. Do you know the number off the top of your head?" "Does anyone these days?" The nurse made a little helpless chuckle. "I'll call your contacts, and when I come back, I'll let you start charging your phone. Is that okay?" Garret nodded and smiled. He was doing everything in his power to not come off like an asshole. The nurse flirted out of the room for a few minutes, then returned with his phone and a charger. She plugged the thing into the bed. "If you want, I can get your girlfriend on the phone right now. She wasn't one of your emergency contacts, though." "I hadn't got around to putting her on my emergency contact list. I'll just wait for my phone to charge." "Is there anything else you need? We'll send a doctor down in a few to see if you're healthy enough to leave." "No, I think I'll just wait a few minutes until my phone gets enough charge." "Well, I'm in the next room. Your mother said she's on her way, and your brother is as well." Garret rolled his eyes, but for 2 distinct reasons. His brother was a preachy asshole, and his mother was insufferable. The most he'd want to talk to them about would be a ride. The nurse nodded and walked out gingerly. Garret stood up, purely just to see if he could. His legs were weak and sponge-like, but supported his weight. For a moment, he was sad he missed leg day, but not that sad. The phone reached 2% and he dialed Keyshawn's number. "Hello?" said the woman, who was so black she sounded black even over the phone. "Hey girl, it's me." "Oh baby, I was so scared. They was saying you got bit by a vampire." "Who's been saying that?" Garret asked. "I don't know, the internet or whatever," said Keyshawn. Garret reached into his memories of that night. He did get bit, but he couldn't make that leap of logic completely. "They did bite me." "No, they didn't bite you. They drained like half your blood," she said frantically. Garret put his hand over where the bite happened on his neck to feel stitches there. A woman walked into the room with the nurse. Garret assumed it was the doctor. While she was dressed somewhat professional, it was not in a way that instantly screamed doctor. "Hello, Garret," said the woman, who rode off of his memory. She was average in a way an extra in a movie might be. Unremarkable, as if being out of focus was a person. "Hi," said Garret suspiciously. "Is this gonna take long?" "I'm not sure how long it will take, Garret, but before you hang up, how much did you tell the person on the phone? she said evenly and calmly. Garret's eyes drooped. "Nothing, I don't think," Garret said honestly. "Anything about vampires?" she probed on. Normally, he would have asked her what exactly was this about, but something about the way she said it transcended comedy and warranted only truth. "No, she mentioned it, I didn't." "Well, tell her that it wasn't a vampire, just a man who bit you. Vampires? That's ridiculous," said the unremarkable woman. "It wasn't vampires, just a man who bit me. Vampires? That's ridiculous," Garret said mechanically without any deviation. "Now hang up. I love you," she said. "I love you," Garret said, then hung up the phone. "So, I'd like you to tell me everything you know about the night of the crash," said the forgettable woman. As Garret was about to open his mouth, the door burst open with a very kinetic energy that was diametrically opposed to the woman standing before him. Two men with assault rifles poised to fire and at the ready barged into the door. They wore tactical gear with no obvious uniform under it, each man in a bike mask. Before another word was uttered, the two men opened fire. One bullet went wild and nearly popped Garret's head, the other all poured into the woman. Garret snapped out of whatever calming trance he found himself and lurched to the side. The woman didn't stay down. In fact, she didn't have the decency to fall down in the first place. She turned around as if she were more annoyed than terrified. "Put down," were all the words she managed to utter before a boot hit her in the chest. "We gotta talk her," yelled the man that kicked her down. "Yep," was all the second shooter with the gritty and grizzled voice said. The woman attempted to rise, but as she did, the older man pulled a crossbow from his back and put an arrow in the woman's heart with a terrifying precision and detached callousness. The woman looked up like she had been electrocuted, then fell down. "What the fuck? Who are you?" yelled Garret hysterically. "We're the motherfuckers that just saved your life," said the audibly younger man.